Hi, babe. You think your life is falling apart. I get it. You're worried. But let me tell you something. When we zoom out, I think you're actually doing way better than you think you are. And here are the signs. An often misunderstood sign that you're doing much better than you think you are is that you've been hearing a lot of no's. Listen, when you're chasing a dream or when you're chasing a goal or you have plans for your life, it can feel like when you hear no's or when you get rejection, it feels like your dream is getting farther and farther away from you. But in reality, people who hear no's are people who are asking and knocking. Chasing rejection is the pathway to success. Yeses are built on no's. And this is amazing because for you to be getting rejection on the daily basis, an uncountable amount of rejection means that you're somebody who is putting yourself out there. And let me tell you, that puts you above many, many people. A person who is knocking is a person who is open to either a yes, a maybe, or a no. And when you hear no's, you're being given an opportunity to figure out what will get the yes. So for every no, you're going back to the drawing board. When it's happening, sometimes you don't see it as an opportunity. It feels very annoying. It feels very painful. But every time you hear a no, you're getting an opportunity to iterate. You're getting an opportunity to plan better. You're getting an opportunity to do something different. And that's building character, building creativity, putting you in a spot where you become your best self so that when your yes comes, you are ready. And this leads me to the second. You return to your baseline quicker. Listen, sometimes people think that a sign of growth is that you no longer get angry or you no longer get mad and pissed and you don't act out of character and you don't do things that are wrong and things that are not great and you don't act human. You're this zen, always controlled person. No. So say before, if you were triggered by something or if you were really upset, it took you days or even weeks to have a conversation, to confront a person, to have necessary conflict, but now it's taking you much less time. So instead of a day, it's taking you an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours to find your bearing. You're growing. A sign of growth is not that I don't get destabilized or that I don't get mad or that I don't act out of character, but I don't stay in that form for too long. Instead of chasing the perfection of being somebody who doesn't react or being someone who is stoic, because I think sometimes we get too carried away by the idea of being a certain type of person. I am moved by nothing. I'm unaffected. You're human. You should be affected. And the third point is you're not exactly where you were last year. I know that some people have life situations and things, that have kept them in the same spot for a long time. But this is for people who are usually too hard on themselves. Sometimes you don't realize that you're actually moving forward, okay? Listen, an inch forward is an inch forward, okay? It's small, but it's an inch forward. 2 inches, 3 inches. And this is why I'm a big proponent for documenting your life. Document you in different situations, because sometimes the only time you're able to tell the difference between your life then and now is when you see a video, when you see a moment, when you see journaling, something you wrote down, something you drew, when you see a picture you painted, you remember that you've actually come much farther than you think. You know exactly how much is enough for you. We live in a time where it's all about hustle. Hustle, rise, grind. And I know that the hustle culture is actually beginning to tank. A lot of us are waking up, but at the same time, it's still a culture of chasing more. It's not uncommon for you to see people who have everything that you can ever imagine. The money, the status, the fame, still chasing so much more. And the question becomes, how much is enough? Because when people say things like, oh, money doesn't buy happiness, the question is, what did you want money to buy for you? Because for some people, happiness is dinner with their family. For some people, happiness is seeing the stars. For some people, happiness is visiting that particular country they've had on their list since they were kids. For some people, happiness is seeing the northern lights. Happiness is seeing wildlife. So what is enough for you? Because if you don't know what your limit is, if you don't know what is enough for you, you'll keep
chasing and you will never find, and you keep pursuing. Every time you hit a goal, there will be this emptiness, more to chase, more to do. A person can have billions and billions and still not be content. Someone can have much less and live a very full, very beautiful, complete life. So if you're a person who knows exactly why you're chasing what you're chasing, to what end, and when you know, hey, I've achieved this goal, I mean, at least we're never going to have to come out and be like, look at this person. Are they crazy? Why are they so greedy? It's never be you.
You know, there's something so special about somebody who defines what their own call is. I think this particular point is a very, very fun one because of the way our lives are these days. You don't preemptively justify your life to other people. Listen!
The world we have for ourselves today is one where we are kind of forced to live in a state of performance. So a lot of times the lives we are living is one where we are trying to prove a point, whether we know it or not. A lot of people, their motivation for being alive, for doing the things they do, for working the jobs they work, for staying where they stay, for the relationships they are in, for the people they hang out, for where they go, for where they sit, for the pictures they take, for how they take the pictures, for where they travel to, oh my goodness. It's all about trying to justify their lives to other people. So if you're somebody who is genuinely living a life for yourself,
you do things because you've checked in with yourself. Now that's maturity. Oh, yeah. I think our parents, the generations before ours, yes, there's a lot of pressure to, to adhere to a certain way of living. And in our time, we have more rights, more freedoms. Sometimes it can look like those freedoms are ours, but lots of times it's an exchange of chains. So you drop the traditional for another herd mentality. So if your life is not a justification, I think you're doing incredible. And the next point is you ask for help before it's an emergency. I have so much respect for you, because this is something that I've struggled with in my own life, especially when you're someone who is used to doing a lot of things alone, you're someone who's used to showing up for yourself, you can get to a point where you become an island. And we all know that no woman, no man, no person is an island. You can't survive alone. You will always need people at some point. You might do certain things alone to a certain extent, but you will get to a point where you will realize that one person's power is limited and that there's power in the many. And this is not about whether you believe people will help you or not. It's just that you have this your baseline of thinking is, I'm going to ask for help no matter what. I don't care what the response is. I'm not going to die in silence. I'm not going to suffer alone. I just want to be like, yeah. I just want to be like, yeah. You're cool. I want to be like you even more as I grow up. I just realized at this point might make me sound like a hater, but I promise I'm not hating, okay? It's that you understand the importance of doing hard things, especially in this time where manifestation is such a huge deal on the interwebs and the interwebs. A lot of times what people call manifestation is actually either a level of privilege or actual effects of layers and layers of work compounded. Okay, so luck and opportunity and striving and all these things meeting at a point, and yay, manifestation. I'm a fan of delusion. I'm a fan of believing that the impossible is possible. I think you hold and wield your delusion, okay? Because it's always delusional until someone does it. So you hold your delusion, but you must do the hard things. And for some of us, doing the hard thing is working that job. That might not be the best thing for now, but then that job is, the purpose of that job at this moment is to pay the bills so that you can have mental space to create, because creativity is stunted by hunger and desperation. Hard things vary based on what your dreams and goals are. Hard things can never be avoided. I think there's a growth in people saying things like, oh, I didn't do anything. I just believed it would be mine and it was mine. Really? Interesting. Some things are easy in life, yes. Okay, because I don't want to also be someone who says, oh, everything is hard. I don't believe that. But a lot of things that matter require difficult action. But if you're somebody who knows that there's a price for everything, and that price has to be paid even when it's difficult, you hold the dream as your summit point, as your, what they call it, when you look at the sky and you see a point, a light, and your North Star. Yes, difficult is part of the journey. Okay, difficult is not a sign that you're wrong or you're not good enough or, there's something you're doing wrong. If you're someone who gets it, your chances of getting where you're going much higher than the average person. Because when something hard is happening, your way of thinking is, oh, okay, I guess this is the next obstacle. How do I surmount it? Not how, what? Oh my God. You don't crash out because it's almost like you enter this level of your life or this path of your life knowing that it's coming and you're ready because you have accepted that I'm somebody who can do hard things. I might be crying, listen, because we be crying and shedding tears. We be weeping, while doing the stuff, but we do it because we know we can. This next point is a sign of a seriously cool human being, and that is that you're not afraid of being wrong. Because it's something I struggled with when I was younger, where I would really be afraid of admitting that I didn't know something or that I was wrong. But the thing is, a person who can admit that they're wrong is a person who is teachable. And a teachable person is the best kind of person. They're intelligent, they are warm, they are kind, they're open to growth. Because when two people come into a conversation or into anything knowing that they don't have to be right, then truths can come to the forefront because nobody's trying to one-up the other. I feel like a lot of times when people are having conversations, it's all about gotcha moments. So the whole thing is, I'm trying to make sure that I get you. And I think that's what's fueling a lot of the negativity that we see online, all the fights is no one wants to be wrong. It's okay to be wrong. I think it's really dangerous when we live in a world where everybody is trying to sound smart, trying to sound right, while harboring weird-ass opinions in their hearts and in their chest and in their houses, hiding because no one wants to say this thing out loud. Also, when you're someone who's not afraid of being wrong, you're also somebody who can allow people to be wrong without shaming them, without debasing them. If you know everything, you know nothing.
And finally, because you're such a cool person, you can do something without needing to be good at it. You can have a hobby, you can do creative stuff, you can just try new stuff without having to turn it into something that you must be good at. Because sometimes this attitude of maximizing and maxing everything really destroys fun. I mean, I love dancing, but I love being free. I dance because I feel free. And yes, when I'm in salsa class, of course they want you to be good. These people are here to learn all the bits and bobs. But honestly, when I go dancing, it's all about having fun for me, okay? I hate it when the whole thing is about, oh, you must do this and do that. So I pick the places I go based on the amount of fun I can have, because why am I leaving my house to go and be stressed? I can't be the only person who is seeing my point. Like, why do the thing if it's gonna bring about deep stress? It's fine if you're learning an instrument because you're trying to produce music, then you must be good at that. Go you, puts pressure. But if it's just to add flair and beauty to life, why are you stressed? Go laugh at yourself, go have fun. So if you're somebody who, your way of doing things is you just enjoy them. You draw and be bad at drawing because why not? Why not? It doesn't matter. It's incredible, I'm telling you, you're cool. Oh, I was trying not to swear, but yeah. Dance, 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 cause you can. Oh, dance, 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 cause you can. Dance, 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 cause you can. Dance, 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 cause you can. Dun, dun, cause you can. Dun, 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 cause you can. Dun, dun, cause you can. Because you can. Yeah. Your life is great. Okay? I think that sometimes when we look at all the things that people present online, I'm out of breath. A second. Okay, so sometimes when you're comparing yourself, it can really look like your life is not beautiful because you're measuring it against curation. And this is not to say that those curated moments aren't truthful, but they're not your life. They're not your life. It's their life. And when they share those moments, they are storytellers. So they're inviting you into how it made them feel. Tell your own story. Some people make the most mundane things sound magical because to them it's magic. So bring the magic, coax the magic out of your ordinary moments. You're doing amazing. These are the features of a person who is doing great. And if you have them, well, yay, you're doing great.